controversy. The first movie that I would like to recommend to you guys is The Theory of Everything. The film has been directed by Jim Marsh and was released in the year 2014. The movie stars Eddie Redmayne and Felicity Jones. The film is based on the memoir Traveling to Infinity, My Life with Stephen by Jane Hawking. The movie is about the life of theoretical physicist Stephen Hawking, a man in a wheelchair. To be more accurate, it's about a genius in a wheelchair, Stephen Hawking, who eventually falls deeply in love with fellow Cambridge student Jane White. Stephen Hawking, who was once a healthy and active man, resists disease at the age of 21, which is called motor neuron disease. This disease will eventually leave him unable to move, swallow, or even breathe. There is nothing that can be done, and he has approximately 2 years to live. But the good news is, the doctor tells him that the brain will be not affected, so his thoughts and intelligence will remain intact. Then he married Jane, who was willing to take care of him even though his disease was getting worse. Jane fought tirelessly with Hawking and motivated him to work on his most ambitious scientific work. The movie looks to reflect upon the hard work that had been put by Stephen Hawking and how he actually motivated himself all his life in spite of being disabled and limited to certain things in life. In my opinion, I think this movie inspired me to never give up. Throughout all his struggles, Hawking never managed to give up. I guess you could say when his incident occurred, it will stop him to accomplishing what he set out to do, but it didn't. Having your entirely body paralyzed and only being able to talk through Intel, he managed to prove everyone wrong.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Siti Salo binti Amir and my metric number is 285113. The second movie that we recommend for you guys to watch is The Pursuit of Happiness. This selected movie is based on a true story. This movie was released on 2006 and Will Smith be holding the character as Chris Gardner. The synopsis is Chris Gardner is a businessman. He has a son and wife. They have a happy family, but one day his wife is no longer able to survive with him because she no longer wants to live hard. Chris Gardner takes care of his son Christopher alone. They live like homeless because Chris cannot afford his rent. One day, he went for a stockbroker interview and he was accepted to work for monitoring training. She had such a busy time that he did not have time to eat or go to toilet. This is because he must finish his work fastly. This because he needs to pick up his son at school every day. Because of his effort and he never give up, he was accepted to work permanently in that stockbroker company. My opinion is this story really teaches us for not to give up easily even we are facing various problems and obstacles. Next, this story also shows us that when we work hard, we will get a luxury result. If you guys want to know how and what Chris facing through problems, you guys can watch this movie.
The third movie that I would like to suggest to you guys is Colonia, directed by Florian Gallenberger and was released in 2015. This is a historical thriller movie and based on true events. The brilliant performance from Emma Watson as Lena, Daniel Brühl as Daniel, and Michael Dickvis as Paul Schaeffer make Colonia worth a watch. The film is about a young stewardess Lena who enters Colonia Dignidad to save her lover Daniel. Colonia tells the story of Lena and Daniel who become entangled in the Chilean military coup of 1973. When Lena is abducted by the secret police, Lena tracks him to Colonia Dignidad. The Colonia presents itself as charitable mission run by Paul Schaeffer, but in fact it is a torture house and detention center place which no one have ever escaped. Lena joins the organization in order to find Daniel and help him escape. Will Lina and Daniel survive and God escape from that creepy place? Incredibly, the Colonia still exists to this day, rebrand and refocused as German team tourist destination. In my perspective, Lina's bravery in saving her lover Daniel inspired me in this film. She is prepared to accept the risk of joining organization despite the fact that she is aware that getting out of that environment will be difficult. We may also learn about Colonia's history, which is based on actual events.
The first movie that we want to share with you guys is the Dangal. Dangal is a Hindustan movie that also based on a true story. Amir Khan beholding the character as a Mahavir Singh Pogat. Mahavir have two daughters, which is Geeta Pogat that held in character by Fatima Sana, and Babita Kumari is held by Sanya Malhotra. Mahavir was a former wrestler and he want his son to become a wrestler, but unfortunately he do not have a son. So he decided to make Geeta and Babita as a wrestler athlete. This decision got a hitch from his family and also the neighborhood, but he never cares about other gossip. For the first, Geeta and Babita was unsatisfied with their father's decision. They had to get up very early in the morning as a wrestler. Geeta went to a Rohtak for her first competition and she lost the first game. The competition has inspired her to continue training as a wrestler. Geeta has been winning wrestling tournaments and she managed to become an athlete, national athlete. In 2012, Geeta became the first ever Indian woman wrestler to qualify for Olympic. This has opened the eyes of society in India that a woman is capable for wrestling. Based on this story, my opinion is never judge something before you try it. Because what happened to Geeta and Babita was a miracle that they never expected to happen in their life. Next, if you guys fail on that something you do for the first time, remember that's okay. Never give up on that, but rise again to atone for failure. You will never learn something big in your life if you never felt failure.
The fifth movie that we would like to suggest to you guys is Miracle in Cell Number 7, a 2013 South Korean drama film. The movie is based on the real-life story of a man who was tortured and pleaded guilty under duress to the rape and murder of 9-year-old girl on 27 September 1972 in Chuncheon before being finally exonerated in November 2008. Miracle in Cell Number 7 is an emotional movie which is about the relationship between 6-year-old girl Yi-sung and her mentally challenged father Yong-gu, who's accused and convicted of a crime he didn't commit. One day, he gets into a physical altercation with the police commissioner who has just purchased the last Sailor Moon backpack for his daughter. It is a gift that Yong-gu was saving up to buy for Yi-sung. Soon after, the police commissioner's daughter dies in a freak accident while she is taking Yong-gu to another store that sells the same backpack. When he tries to perform CPR, a woman witnesses him and mistakes him to be molesting her. The police quickly take advantage of his disability and force him to admit the crime while ignoring exonerating evidence. Yong-gu imprisoned and assigned to cell number 7. One day, the 5 inmates in cell number 7, they plan to make a miracle happen. Will they able to reunite Yi-sung and her father? Based on the movie, the moral value of loving can be seen through the scene when Yong-gu begged to the police officer to help him because he didn't want to leave his daughter. Other than that, this film showed us a message about friendship. They also trained Yong-gu to memorize His answer at the retrial, because of their friendship, they did not want him to face the punishment as he was innocent.
The last movie that we recommended for you guys is The Sully. The title is based on the name of the captain, that is Chesley Sullenberger. He is the American fighter pilot, and this movie was released on 2016. On January 15, 2009, New York has made history relating to the United States Airways Flight 1549 that landed on the Hudson River. This is the craziest thing ever that happened in New York because all 155 passengers and crew was survived. Although Sully was a hero in the eyes of people, but he was investigated in connection with the tragedy which threatened the life of passenger and crew. This also been a threat for his career as a pilot. In my opinion, this movie was realized me to be a responsible person towards job even though you are a student. Next, as a pilot, you must pay attention about the life of passengers that you carry.